Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we are going to try out a brand new concealer by Beautyblender. Yes, that famous makeup sponge that we all use has a brand new concealer. They launched their foundation last year, the Bounce Foundation, and it was really good. I actually did a video on it and I really liked it because I had it in a sample and then I tried it out and I was like, I gotta go get my hands on it that day, and I was really pleasantly surprised how beautiful the finish was. The problem was the more I was wearing it, it started to break me out. So for my sensitive skin girls, you might want to just keep that in mind if you were ever in the market to purchase that foundation. But I loved the finish. So I was so excited to try out this concealer because I thought, you know, it's just concealer, it's not foundation. Let me try it again. Let me see if this formulation works well for me. And I'm always on the market for new concealers and new foundations because until I just feel like I hit the jackpot, I don't think you know what, even when I do, I'm just gonna still I want the latest and greatest things, okay? Come on, if you watch my channel, if you watch beauty channels, you're a beauty enthusiast as much as I am, and we all want what's new in the market. I did do my foundation before I started filming the portion of the concealer, and I also tried out this new Vite C Tea Infused Serum by TEAMI Blends. You guys, this serum is so just hydrating and just lays so beautifully with my makeup. I'm just extremely impressed. There is a slight scent to it, but nothing too overpowerful, and we'll see how it, you know, plays with my skin. Usually, typically, products that have any kind of scent in it kind of tend to break me out. But it had so many other amazing ingredients. I'm going to show it right there. It's their Hibiscus Infused Vitamin C Serum. It's $44.99. I do have a coupon affiliate code because I am affiliated with TEAMI Blends, and you can use that. It's Allure20, and it will get you 20% off that serum. So be sure to use Allure20 when you go to checkout. It has hyaluronic acid. We all want hyaluronic acid, which is also in the concealer we're going to use today, and it hydrates the skin, delivering long-lasting moisture, making your skin feel smoother throughout the day. We'll see how it is, and then I'm gonna actually just kind of see how it plays with my skin in the next month, and then I'll come back and kind of give you guys an update. But let's see how this concealer plays, so let's get started. All right, you guys, let's get started. So this Bounce Liquid Whip Concealer, I am so excited. So I did get two colors, as I mentioned a second ago, and I really wasn't sure like which color to get. I probably should have went in store and tried them out, but I got so excited and I was out of town and I was like, you know what? We're just gonna order them, and when I get home, we're gonna do a video because I know you guys are just as excited as I am for new concealers, new foundations. I'm always on the market for something that is just going to completely wow me like Shape Tape. And I did like the Hourglass one. If you guys haven't checked out that video, go ahead and check it out. I'm actually almost getting low on it because I'm using it so much. So that's a really good sign. Now, I really loved when the Bounce Foundation came out. I actually did a video, I think it was about a year ago, I want to say, when the actual foundation came out, and it is really good, but it did end up breaking me out. So at least concealer, I know I'm probably not going to put it on my blemish areas. I'm going to stick to my other concealers for that. But as far as like under your eye and stuff, I'm not really worried about that. So I did want to try it because honestly, that was one of the best foundations I have ever used. And if you are not allergic to it or you don't break out from it, you really need to try it because that foundation was amazing. And maybe when my skin is better or my hormones are getting better, I'll revisit it again because you never know, our skin changes. So sometimes we don't like something and then we go back to it and it's like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. So maybe down the road I'll give it a chance again, but I cannot wait to try this concealer. So I did get I got a really light one, which is, because you guys know I like to go a little bit lighter on my concealer. I mean, a lot lighter on my concealer. And I did get the 2.4 and that is like a neutral olive. So this one was a medium olive, and then the other one I got was the 3.2 warm, which is a medium sand. I mean, it comes in 39 shades, you guys. That's pretty amazing. All right, let's just give it a go. We're gonna kind of test them out and see which one. So this is the 2.4 neutral olive, which I would assume this would be my color, but I was a little scared because they do have an amazing, very inclusive shade range in my opinion, even in the foundation. So I was really excited when I saw that the concealer looked like it was pretty much going to correlate a little bit to the foundation. So when I look at these two side by side, honestly, I don't really see much of a difference in the color. And I did see that in the original foundation. I felt like there was a huge wide range of that light medium that probably could have been a little more, how do I say it? It just could have like varied a little bit more. I felt like that medium, light medium shade range was pretty much all the same. So it was like really difficult to find which color I was. But these two side by side almost look exactly the same. So it'll be interesting when I swatch them to see if they look any different. And I'll show right there the actual swatches online, but we'll just have to check it out. We'll put the first one is the 2.4. So this is the neutral olive. So I'm gonna swatch it on my hand right here. This is neutral olive. So yeah, this definitely has more neutral tones in it. So a nice dual foot applicator as normal. We'll have to see how it feels when it goes on. That one looks really light. So, oh, I don't know. That one might be too light. And this is 3.2 medium sand, which is a warm base. I don't know. So we have 3.2 and then we have the 2.4. I mean, it's interesting. So it looks like the warm one has a bit more like peachy tones to it, so which will be good for like canceling out the dark circles and stuff like that. And then the other one might be good for brightening up. So we'll see. And if I love it, I might just keep both. Who knows? I mean, $26 is not bad for a concealer. It's about the price of Shape Tape. Shape Tape's $27, so it's not too bad. All right, let's turn on my Reiki Gray Smear. Let's hope that this has some charge in it. I love traveling with this mirror. It is so amazing. Okay, so here we go. The Beautyblender Bounce Airbrush Liquid Whip Concealer. All right, so I'm gonna do my normal. Already, I can tell you it's a little bit more drying than it's kind of like a similar consistency as like my Tarte Shape Tape. Versus like the Hourglass one, which was a little bit more creamier. So just a little heads up. No smell to it. It's about normal in that way. So it looks like this is going to be my color right here. Then here I'm going to take my Beauty Blender and I'm just going to pounce that in. So if you watched my latest videos, I have a new technique for concealer where I like to use the brush first, but I'm going to go in with the Beauty Blender on this side, and when on the other side I'll go in with the brush first and then use the Beauty Blender to blend it out. So I want to try both ways just to get an idea of how this plays out. So here we go. What do you guys think? That's just with one blend. Let me tell you guys, it dries fast. So I am so glad whenever you try new concealers, try it on one side first. Don't go in and do the full, you know, method that we do with our concealer and then you do something else and then it dries down too fast. Then it's really difficult to blend out. So when you try new concealers, go one side at a time. Unless you really know the consistency, which I can already tell you by swatching it, I knew it was going to dry down quickly, which is why I only went with one eye first. So I'm just really pouncing that into the skin. I mean, that's some beautiful coverage right there. I'm not gonna lie, like that is gorgeous coverage. We'll have to see, we're gonna do a wear test. So we'll leave it on about, you know, the good amount of hours, 8 hours, whatever it is. And we'll see if it creases and how it wears on the skin. I'll come back at the end of the video after I close out and just do my little extra video clip of how it wore. Not bad. I like it, actually. The coverage is really good. It just will, I mean, honestly, it's just really going to depend on, you know, how it wears through the rest of the day, but it is more drying. So if you have very dry under eyes, I still would probably recommend the Hourglass or Jouer. I think I included the Jouer in my favorites for 2019, and that is an amazing one because I like those concealers that you really get the full coverage, but they feel lightweight. And I do feel like this is very lightweight, so that is a good sign. I'm just curious to see how this is going to actually apply with a brush. The good part about the fact that they dry down quickly is you don't have to use as much powder. So if you're not a powder girl, this could almost be like Makeup Forever, the self-setting concealer. It could be kind of similar to that concept where I don't feel like you're gonna need a lot of, I don't even know if you'll really need, I mean, you're gonna need, I would set no matter what. I would even set with the Makeup Forever one. That's just me though, but you don't have to. And I honestly don't feel like you absolutely have to with this one either. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like, oh my gosh, this is like the best concealer I have ever used. I don't feel that way, to be 100% honest, off the bat. All right, I'm gonna take my Milk Cosmetic brush, if I can find it here, and we're gonna do the method I've been using lately, which is to go in with the brush first, really deposit the color, the pigmentation, and then go around the edges and blend it out with my Beauty Blender. So we're gonna go in on this side, and we're just going to do the same thing. So I have some active blemishes. My skin is just really, really pissed at me right now. I don't know, we're fighting, and we tried to do some surgery on it myself, and you know, it just wasn't a good thing. You know, you just are not supposed to perform surgery if you're not a surgeon, apparently. But then I get into those magnifying mirrors and I go crazy. I know. All right, here we go. So we have the Milk brush, and we're just going to blend this in. And this is just, again, see how I'm really getting more pigmentation from the brush right there? So, and really you kind of want to look up and really get it under the eye area, especially if you're using a Beauty Blender. This one is a little bit more challenging when you use a brush, but you can really deposit that pigmentation with this. And don't worry about all that, because we're still gonna go over that with bronzer and stuff like that. So it all blends at the end. You guys just need to trust the process. So I am trying to, I really cannot speak today. I am trying it on my eyelids today just to kind of see how it sets with eyeshadow as well. And we'll kind of test that out on camera a little bit. Oh my goodness, you guys. That looks really pretty though with the brush, let me tell you. Actually, it looks really pretty with the brush. Okay, I was a little afraid. I wasn't sure if that was gonna be too much considering how mattifying. It's very, very mattifying. So if you like a good glow, girl, this is not your concealer. This is more on the mattifying side. This is definitely full coverage mattifying type concealer, okay? I'm warning you, it's more of that kind of concealer. We'll go around. I already did my brows. I'm trying to be a little careful with that, but sorry if I covered that up. All right. What do you guys think? So definitely the brush gave me even more pigmentation. And this side, I just did the Beauty Blender. So you guys can kind of decide. Maybe you don't see a difference at all, but I like it. While I'm kind of playing around with this and fixing it a little bit and doing like the forehead and all of that stuff, I'm gonna talk about the product so I can kind of speed up the process a little, because I do hear the feedback and I know I talk a lot. So I am trying a different method and we'll see how this works. I'm sorry, I apologize, you guys. I know I kind of go off and start talking too much. I know, I do it in everyday life too. I'm working on it. I'm working on it in all aspects of my life. But yeah, I kind of, honestly, I do like it for my for me, because I like a lot of coverage. I liked it better with the brush. But still, I'm not ecstatic about it. I still really think I like the Hourglass one better so far. As far as like new concealers, obviously Tarte Shape Tape, I won't stop using because I use these two together. But I don't know. I mean, it's not to say I won't keep it and see how it wears, because what if it wears beautifully and it doesn't even crease at all, which I can have issues with some of these creasing. Then we may change our mind. That's why you got to do a wear test and really see how it's going to sustain on your eyes and your under eye area. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest and we're going to talk about it. All right, you guys, so this is a weightless full coverage concealer that uses hyaluronic acid and peptides to create a smooth, undetectable finish. It has full coverage, a natural finish, which I still think is kind of more on the matte side. The formulation obviously is liquid, and the skin type is for normal, dry, combination, and oily skin. So some of the highlighted ingredients that they are really promoting in this product is that it has the hyaluronic acid, which obviously we all know by now hydrates, plumps, and smooths your skin. This product also has tetrapeptide. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It's known to reduce the appearance of puffiness, and it brightens and moisturizes the eye area for a more supple, youthful looking appearance over time. Oh hey, for my mature girls out there, we want that. It has HD effects pigments, which helps to illuminate the skin to instantly achieve the perception of a flawless skin tone. And as you can see right there, all the ingredient call outs, you know, it's free of sulfates, parabens, all that stuff we don't want on our skin. So you can read all that right there. What else you need to know is that this is powered by hyaluronic acid and peptides, which help hydrate and brighten the skin over time. Their silky formula actually vanishes into the skin for invisible coverage, which is completely full coverage, completely invisible, and they TM that, so that's cute. The 3-in-1 long wear formula can be used to conceal, contour, and highlight. You guys, I don't know. I wouldn't say I would run out and go get a darker color to contour with this product. I would still stick to the Born This Way. I just feel like it's more hydrating for somebody like me who has more dry skin. So if I put this on my contour area, I think it would be a hot mess in my opinion, but I don't know. I can try it on another video if you guys want me to, but I honestly think with my dry skin, I think if you have oily skin, I think this is going to be an amazing product for you, because this is really going to soak in that oil, yet give you the hyaluronic acid to still plump and hydrate your skin, which is good. Again, I have to see how it's going to wear. I mean, who knows? This may just be the best thing since sliced bread. Who knows? As it goes on throughout the day. But on a media application, I still just don't know if I'm like sold on it. So, and again, I think it's one of those things where I just need to keep trying it over time. Let's go ahead and see what the lighter one looks like. I'm just going to kind of brighten in some of that cheekbone area. I don't want to go too low because where I did my surgery, it's not looking so good. Yeah, surgery. You know what I mean by that. If you break out, you know what I mean by that. All right, so let's take this 2.4, which I knew might be a little too light, but I just wanted to try it anyway. I don't know. I don't almost see that much of a difference between this one and the other one. That much. I'll put a little bit here, a little bit on my Cupid's bow, kind of where I like to highlight. And I'm actually going to go in with the Beautyblender on this one and then just kind of pounce that in, because I'm not really looking for a whole lot of pigmentation. It's more just the brightness I want to see, that just how that brighten the area. Same thing on this side, but again, I don't want to go too low because I do have that blemish and I don't want to highlight that blemish. So I have to be careful with that side. So this definitely would not have been the color I would use for the initial way. So I think 3.2 would have been my color if I just wanted to purchase one concealer color. This would be, it would be 3.2. This 2.4 would have been way too light. But it is really beautiful, you guys. Actually, the more I'm kind of playing with it, the more I like it. I'm gonna take the milk one. I have a little blemish in there in the center, and just make sure you never want to go over your blemishes with the Beauty Blender, because that's gonna pull the product away and then it's gonna go, hello, I'm here. So really always blot those down with like a flat kabuki brush. I forgot I bought this brush. This was the Concealer Pro Airbrush Corrector. I don't know, number 57. And I wanted to try it out because I do love the Sephora Pro brushes. I think they are amazing, and it was like such a good price point right there. I'll show it right there. Oh my goodness, it was on sale and I was like, all right, let's just try it out. That's a good price point. And what I like about brushes like this is that you can actually go in there and kind of blend out those crease areas. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a really good one. And it gives you like that kind of airbrush look, especially on like the laugh line areas that you don't want to take the Beauty Blender and again, pull out the product. You really want to just kind of blend it into the skin. Ooh, I like this guy. She's good. She'll be good for the eyelid space area too. So I do want to try, because when I set, I'm going to set my eyelid space area too. I want to try actually the lighter one on my eyelids and just kind of see. I did obviously use some concealer to carve out my brow area already, so I'm just gonna kind of go a little bit light on that. Let's just try it. Let's try it with this brush actually. Let's just see if it works good. Ooh, I like this brush. Oh, this is a really good brush to do this with. Oh, you guys, that's a good brush. And that's such a good price point. That's what I love about Sephora brushes. They always go on sale, so look out for those. Oh, that's good. I just messed up my eyebrow though. Boy, just ignore that. I'll fix it in a second. Whoa, this is a really, really good brush. Wow. I love this concealer one too, this flat one. This is the Pro Stippling Concealer Brush. I love this one. This one's always on sale too, and it really kind of carves out those brows too. But this one is really nice because it really just kind of airbrushes that area. Ooh. Ooh, I like you. Look at all my flippin' wrinkles. Oh my goodness. This is the month I'm turning 42, and it just feels like the wrinkles are just getting heavier and heavier. Oh, you know what? The struggle is real, but it's life. You know what? With every wrinkle is experience, right? I'm just gonna go with that. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, I really like this brush, you guys. That's a good brush. It's a really good brush, and a really good brush to really kind of smooth out the eyelid space area. All right, before I get a little crazy, I'm going to take the Bobbi Brown. You guys know I have been loving this. I talk about it in all my videos recently. And we are actually going to use it with the Beauty Blender today. We're going to just kind of roll it around like that. Okay, and I've been liking to set my eyelids with this, so I'm going to go in with that first and just set my lids, because since we just creased that out, so we can make sure we don't get any creases in that area. Sorry, I'm trying not to cover up. I'm trying, you guys. Oh, that's pretty. See how just smooth and pretty that is? And then I love it for under the eye area. I need to stop covering up. Okay. If I look in this monitor a lot, it's because I'm trying not to cover up. Okay, here we go. So I'm just gonna set that area. So before you go in with the powder, always, always, always make sure that you have all the creases out first. Luckily, when you're applying powders with blenders, like I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna use the side that doesn't have the powder on it and just make sure I don't have any creases there. And try not to talk while you're doing this. And actually, I still do like to go in with the Tati one and kind of make sure I get a little bit more pigmentation. See how the Tati one gives you way more like a baking effect, and how the Beauty Blender gave you more of a natural effect. So just know that. So you have to really go back in with the Tati blender and kind of like make sure you really blend that out, because it does deposit a lot more. But see how easy that was to blend out? It honestly like set really nicely. So I think that's what's going to be good. It might be good for this eyeshadow too, base, because I tend to use more concealers unless I use like the P. Louise one. If I'm doing more of a dramatic look, then I'll use like a real eyeshadow base like my P. Louise. But for every day, I just use concealer. It's just easier, and I just find that why waste that if I don't need to, you know, just use my concealer. But wow, you guys, that is really beautiful. Is it my favorite as far as like the texture? Initially putting it on, no. But like I said, this might wear gorgeous and it may become one of my favorite concealers. So we'll just have to see at the end of the day. But so far, I do like the finish though. Okay, mature girls, this might be a good one for us because I don't know, like it's kind of, the price point is much better than the Hourglass one. I mean, this one's $26, so you're still looking, that's the good part about the Beauty Blenders. They kept the price points pretty fair priced. I used my Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion today because I knew I wasn't gonna set right away. So if I know I'm not gonna set right away, I love using this one because it gives me like a mattifying effect, but it doesn't give me a drying, mattifying effect. It gives me more of like a satin matte finish. So that's what I love about this Laura Mercier, but it is extremely full coverage. So if you don't like full coverage, I probably wouldn't recommend that one. I'd recommend another one that I'm using, but I don't want to tell you guys because I'm going to do another video because it's part of my March Madness foundation favorites. So we'll save that. But for today, we're using the Laura Mercier one as my foundation base, just so you know. All right, so let's go in with the Hourglass settings powder. I almost said setting spray. And again, I really haven't derailed from this powder, you guys. I have been using it non-stop. I just love this powder. I really need to wash my Tati Blendiful. It's really gross. The only downfall to this Tati Blendiful is I don't like having to remember to wash it, because if you don't wash it and then you go and try to use it because you forget, you need time to dry it and all that stuff, and it just becomes kind of like a nuisance. So it's the only thing I don't, but I just love the way it applies. It's just so beautiful. So it's just for me getting into the habit of washing it right away when I'm done. It's just that, you know how that is, girls. We get in a hurry. We're usually probably, well, I'm usually running out the door. That's just me, but I'm usually running out the door, so that probably doesn't help either. But wow, you guys, that's really pretty. The more I'm looking at it, I'm like, maybe I did really like it. I wouldn't keep both colors, and my Hourglass one is pretty light, so I still may highlight with like the Hourglass one and kind of keep giving this one a try, and keep the 3.2. I think that's the consensus. I'm definitely keeping the 3.2. And then it's kind of similar to, let me do a comparison actually on that to my Tarte Shape Tape color, just so you guys know. I use light medium sand for Tarte Shape Tape. So this one is medium sand. Oh, they're both sand. That's so funny. All right, so that's my setting powder. Let me do a really quick comparison actually. So light medium sand and then 3.2. You can't really tell in the bottles, so it's kind of hard to really gauge. Even with my lights and stuff, I don't know if you can really tell with the bottle the colors, but I'm going to swatch them for you just so you can kind of gauge what the color tones are. So this is Tarte right here. And then see, the Tarte one is just so creamy when it applies and then just dries down to a beautiful satin matte finish, full coverage. I do like the spoolie a lot better on the Tarte Shape Tape. This one looks a little bit lighter than my Tarte Shape Tape, so as you can see right there. So they're both medium sands, and it looks like the Tarte has a little bit more of like a peachy neutral undertone, and this one has a little bit more of like a yellow neutral undertone, even though it is warm. So kind of gives you an idea of what they both look like. Let me take that off before I get it everywhere. I do like the color tone though. I do actually really kind of like that neutral olive tone. I was afraid it was going to be too warm, so I'm not mad at that. But I do. It's like when I put on that Tarte Shape Tape one, just even swatching it right now, I'm like, oh, it's so creamy, which makes it so beautifully blendable, and just you can put it on your whole face and not have to worry about working fast. This, you gotta work fast. So the only downfall to that. All right, let's put my bronzer, my contour on right now, just so we can see how everything plays together. And I'm just gonna kind of speed through this because you guys know this process. All right, you guys, so this is kind of how everything laid on top of the concealer. I really like it now that I've kind of had it on, and I don't really see it creasing, which I am a huge fan of. I will give you all my final thoughts in just a second. Let me pop on my lashes, take off this beautiful hair clip, and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so this is the final look, and I'm actually really happy with the way it all came together at the end. Again, we're gonna have to see how it wears and if it actually stays put, it doesn't crease, it doesn't look cakey, or just some of the concerns I kind of have going on right now as far as like the cakiness. I think it's not gonna crease. I actually think this is gonna be one of the better concealers out there that won't crease. And the reason why I think that is because it dried down to perfection almost. So, and that was nice because it didn't, if you have really dry skin and you have issues with like setting powders, or you just don't really like to use any powder, you don't want that extra step, actually this could be pretty good. And you can go way lighter hand than I did because I like that full coverage, lots of concealer look, but some people just like to do like a couple dots and really just blend it in, and I think that's gonna be beautiful. I still feel like the consistency could be creamier. I don't know what it is with the hyaluronic acid and everything in there. I was just hoping that it was gonna give me just a little bit more creaminess. Like Jouer has hyaluronic acid in it, but it actually feels more creamy, and just for me just is so much easier to blend out, which I didn't find that this was hard to blend out. I just felt like you had to work fast, and if you didn't, you were in trouble. So this is not the concealer where you want to like do your full face like I normally do, like one side, the other side, my forehead, you know, all of that usual routine I do with my concealer. I wouldn't do that with this particular concealer. I would do one side at a time, one part of my face at a time. I would not use this on a blemish because I feel like it's going to dry it out more, but we can still play with it down the road and see, because you just never know. Maybe it might cover it up to perfection. You never know, and it might not budge or move, which would be good. So again, this is one of those things where I just want to keep playing with it. The consensus was 3.2 was definitely my color. The 2.4 was good, and again, like they look very similar in the packaging, and even online it was like hard to tell. I mean, I can show the picture right there. You can never really gauge online whether or not you know, those colors are gonna be true to color when you get them in person. Do I feel like that doe foot applicator? I kept calling it dew foot. I don't know what I called it earlier. I mix words up all the time. You'll get to know that on my channel. But I don't know, it's good, but I don't feel like it's like Shape Tape good. I will have to keep using this. I will have to keep playing with it and see what I think. I will return the lighter one because I definitely won't be using that one because I love my Hourglass one. I feel like it really does give more of that creamy finish, and this one's lighter and it's like the perfect color. So if you haven't checked out that video, be sure to check out that video. But I am really happy with it, and I think if you like the Bounce Foundation by Beautyblender, you're gonna love the concealer, and I think they're gonna play really nicely together. Again, I would have to kind of revisit that one down the road, but it did not play well with my skin last year, and right now my skin is really just hormonal right now. So a lot of stress going on in my life, so I just feel like it's not, you know, it's just not playing well with me. So I have to watch what foundations I use right now. But I really was excited to use the concealer because I thought that Beautyblender Bounce Foundation was so beautiful. The finish was so beautiful, and I had a feeling this was going to be the same thing, and I wasn't wrong. And I honestly am excited to see how it's going to wear in the next 8 hours. So we will see, and I will come back at the end of the day and just do a footage after I close out and just kind of show you how it wears. But all in all, I'm kind of happy, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm trying to make sure I stay on top of this, and this just released in February, so I'm so excited to be able to get on top of it and share it with you guys as soon as possible, because people want to see. I mean, everybody's always on the market for new concealer and new foundation. We will always be, as beauty enthusiasts, people that love makeup, want to know the latest and greatest. So that's what I want to bring to you guys as quick as I possibly can. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, set that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Give this video a huge thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next. Thanks, guys. Bye. All right, you guys, so I'm back. It's been about, almost 7 hours. It's 11, I think it's like 11:44. I am exhausted, and all I want to do is take off this makeup and crawl into bed. But I wanted to give you guys an update. So this is a pretty good wear test. It's actually been 7 hours, just about. I mean, at midnight it'll be 7 hours that I've had this concealer on. If I'm being like 100% honest, it's not a concealer I want to keep in my makeup case. I just find that Tarte Shape Tape gives you really amazing full coverage. And yes, it can kind of slightly be drying, but I just felt like it gave you much better coverage, and it just is creamier when it goes on, and there's just no worry time with it. I just feel like this one feels lightweight. Yes, I don't feel the hyaluronic acid. I think Jouer was much better at giving that, not as full coverage as Tarte Shape Tape, but pretty darn close. But I felt the hyaluronic acid. I felt the moisture in that product. But this one, I just wasn't feeling it as much. You know, it just didn't work out for me. And maybe it's my skin right now. Maybe your skin, and like I said, I think for oily skin, this may be a really, especially for young oily skin, I think this would be an amazing concealer for that particular skin type. For mature skin that's sensitive and extremely dry, I would not recommend this product, in my opinion, though. And again, everyone has different skin types, so just take what I say with a grain of salt, because it might work out for you. For $26 US, I think it's a pretty good price point for 39 colors, very inclusive range of shades, and I just feel like all of that kind of nailed it. Having the hyaluronic acid to really plump would have been amazing for mature skin. That brightening extract that can just really, and it did brighten my under eye. But is it going to be that concealer I'm going to reach to every day or for a special occasion? No, not really. That's my final thoughts. I hope you guys enjoy these wear tests, just so you can kind of see throughout the day how I feel like it ends up on my skin, and I think that's important. Comment below and let me know if you try it out. Let me know if you like it. That's my recommendation, but again, try it. Don't always rely on my opinion. This is just how my skin is reacting to it and my preference. And right now, I'm just not feeling it, but that's okay. You know, there's other concealers out there. I know Pat McGrath just released one, so I definitely want to get my hands on that. I want to try it out. I do have the Christian Dior Forever one, so I will be trying that out, so stay tuned on that review. Let me know if you want to see more wear test and reviews, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.
You better turn up. You better be there when I shake. Watch me rockin' if I can't stop. If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby.